Americans across the political spectrum feel deeply that our government has become corrupt. Rather than serve the interests of the people, government frequently serves the interests of big business and special interests. How did this happen? It's what economists call regulatory capture. That's when a special interest group takes control of the regulatory process, and regulations, supposedly for the public interest, instead serve special interests. As when restaurateurs lobby government to limit the number of food trucks, or when government officials who used to be Wall Street executives bail out Wall Street banks. A special interest might push for regulations that are easy for them to comply with, but difficult for their competition. That's called a barrier to entry. Such was the case for the taxi industry when Uber came along. In order to keep out competition, taxi companies helped craft legislation on insurance, safety requirements, and pricing disclosure, which would have been expensive for Uber, but consumers didn't care about. Then there's when unions push for higher minimum wages when their workers already make above that wage, in order to keep out cheaper workers. Sometimes special interests go directly for the money, seeking subsidies from you, the taxpayer, backed up by the force of government. Proponents of subsidies argue that they help fund things the free market wouldn't, high-speed rail, for example. But we shouldn't only look at what's created by subsidies, but also at what's destroyed. What else might the consumer have bought with their dollars if those dollars weren't taxed away? Whatever they might choose, we can know that when decisions are left up to the individual, they'll buy what they want, not what special interests want. We now live in a culture where many companies, rather than seeking first to serve the consumer, kiss up to politicians and bureaucrats to get subsidies and favors. Subsidies turn us into beggars rather than innovators. And with our nation over $20 trillion in debt, we simply can't afford this any longer. The solution is clear: smaller, more limited government that doesn't have the power to dole out favors to those who have the money to lobby. To hear a key example of where subsidies for special interests have damaged Americans, watch our video on the Renewable Fuels Standard. I'm Dr. Stephen J. Allen. Thanks for watching.